This is Mandy Powell, and this is another great episode of ETX Rocks featuring Adrian Johnston.
From the great state of Texas, this is the latest episode of the ETX Rock Show. Nestled in the piney woods of East Texas, the ETX Rock Show delivers the stories and songs of talented artists of all genres, all styles, from the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond. We bring a passion for music and a drive to go behind the curtain with our guests. We focus on all artists, from LA to New York, Nashville down to Texas, and everywhere in between. ETX is our location, not a limitation. Now, as always, it's viewers and listeners like you out there that are our biggest support for the show. If you want to contribute to the show, please do so by donating to www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuned in, please hit the like, follow, and or subscribe buttons. And now for another great episode of ETX Rocks. Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the ETX Rock Show, and thanks for checking out episode 234 of the show. We are excited to introduce today's guest. Since her debut self-titled EP in 2014 that made the iTunes Top 200 for country albums, she has taken Texas radio by storm. She made history last year winning the Ranch Factor 2017 competition that was sponsored by 95.9 FM The Ranch in Fort Worth, and she was the very first female to do so. Now, with multiple charting singles throughout her career, many in the top 30, she is also well known for creating the Girls Raised in Texas tour, also known as G.R.I.T, which is an all-female acoustic tour with artists such as Sarah Hobbs, Kenzie Coppin, the Rankin Twins, and several other notable women in Texas country, including Holly Tucker. Her current single, Damn, I Want to Love Like That, featuring the amazing Jordan Isaac, is destined for chart-topping success. Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to introduce everybody out there to Adrian Johnston. Okay, guys, so we have Adrian Johnston on the show today, and for the first time on the ETX Rock Show. And guys, man, I've been waiting a long time to talk to you, and it's really cool to finally get this to happen. I guess we started talking probably last year about possibly doing this.
I know, we had gone back and forth so many times, and then we were on the road so much, and I'm glad
it's hard to get you guys out here east anyway, because you're from the Dallas area, right?
Yes, so, we just moved out to Fort Worth.
Right.
So DFW
and busy as heck as well. Yeah.
Yep.
So you brought your guitar with us, so you're going to play a couple of songs for us. Tell us about the first one. This is I guess it was like a top 20 single, right?
Yeah.
13, I think?
13. Rather Have You. I would say that's like my most, it's definitely chart-wise most successful, but it also got our name out there, and it was the first single off the second EP. Right. And we released it before I even decided kind of what the EP sound was going to be, hoping that it would obviously be on it. So, I love that song. It's just really laid back. I had this stupid idea. I always kind of write down or record my ideas on my voice memo on my phone. Right. And I'd had this horrible idea. It was like this melody of Rather Have Wine Than Dinner. And I played it in a writing session and immediately apologized. I was like, I'm really sorry. That's the dumbest thing I've ever played in my life. And my producer at the time who I was writing with goes, wait, what about like this yin and yang thing and wanting what you're not supposed to have? And what if we kind of play with that idea? And Rather Have You came out of nowhere. It was not a plan to write song. Wow. And then it ended up doing so well. And
so it just came from that one line.
Yeah. And I was told not to promote it as a wine song. And I took the single picture drinking wine. I'm like, no, that's what this song is. It needs to be what it's supposed to be. Right. And I'm glad I kind of stuck to my guns on it because it ended up doing so well.
Yeah, it's a great song, too. And so, guys, check this out. It's live and unplugged here in the living room with Adrian Johnston. The song's called Rather Have You.
Baby, come on, kiss me. I know what all the friends are gonna say.
right, so we are back with Adrian Johnston, first time on the ETX Rock Show. If you're keeping track at home, this is episode 234. Unbelievable stuff. And finally have Adrian Johnston on the show. She happens to be in East Texas doing a private show tomorrow in Jefferson.
Yep.
And I saw that on your tour information, and I was like, oh, here it is. This is my chance. And just really happy this worked out.
Me too.
And, one thing I wanted to talk about with you straight away is you're a huge champion for females in the state of Texas, same as I am. I'm a huge fan of the female artist in Texas.
I know, I like your blingy shirt. You gotta go.
Thank you.
Go Holly.
Holly Tucker. Yeah. Love me some Holly. Actually, Holly and I are celebrating our friendiversary today.
Oh, did Facebook tell you?
Yep. Just shared that video like 10 minutes ago. So it's a big day for us, Holly. Come on.
It's your anniversary.
So, typically with these interviews, I'll try to get into your background and your rising up and all that. But, man, this Girls Raised in Texas idea is so smart and so amazing for female artists. Not only am I a big fan of female artists, but I'm also a huge fan of acoustic music, too. So where did the idea come from, and how hard was it for you to get it off the ground?
Well, so I wouldn't say that I'm, like, the original thought person on a girls' tour. There was a tour back, probably 5 or 6 years ago. The girls did Hold My Baby and Watch This, kind of a spinoff of Hold My Beer and Watch This.
Yeah, right.
And Brie Bagwell was on it, and the Rankin Twins, and Pauline Reese, and Kylie Ray Harris, and Kimberly Kelly. And it was just those 5 acts.
Right.
And so ever since then, I saw them do that, and they did it for a while, and it was, super successful, and they had a great time. And we just talk about it with our girlfriends all the time of, man, I wish we got to see each other more throughout the year. We see each other maybe once at a festival, maybe once at an award show.
Yeah.
Right. And we never have shows together. And so the thought was, well, we need to come up with something to do shows together. And we did girl swaps and things like that. And I had a venue in McKinney, Hanks Grove, and they had offered me a full band show on a Friday night. And I said, well, and he said, do you want to have some openers? You can have multiple openers if you want for like a bunch of girls. And I said, yeah, but can I not do full band and have us the whole show? He's like, I don't know, acoustic on a Friday. Sure enough, though, Dave took a chance on us and let us do our first Girls Raised in Texas show. And ever since then, it's been wildly successful.
Yeah, and it should be.
It's great. And the other thing that people always ask, who's on the lineup? It's always changing. And it should be. It should always be growing. It should always be what girls in town, what girls available, whose hometown are we in? We're doing shows in Waco. Holly's like our host for Waco. Right. If we do something in Houston or Austin, it's a different lineup every time. And I think that's the greatest part about it is it's all the girls.
I love it.
And it's been really fun. I will say, coordinating it is hysterical. It's a group text with all of us girls, and it's like, but I need to get a spray tan before the show, and then what about this? And I'm like, oh my gosh! But it's so much fun. We love it. That's awesome. It's great.
And I mean, we need more of that in Texas. So, I just, having Adrian on the show, that obviously that's near and dear to my heart, is trying to help females rise above in the state, because it's really difficult for a female to be heard in the state of Texas, unfortunately. Do you feel like it's getting easier, though?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's hard or easier. I think it's just less opportunities present themselves.
Right.
You look at a festival lineup and there's 10 guys and there's 1 girl slot.
Right.
Well, we're all fighting for that 1 girl slot.
Right.
And there's just less opportunities. So I don't say it's getting easier because more opportunity. They're not like, oh, now the normal festivals are half and half. That's not happening.
Right.
But I think it's getting the word out. What I think is really cool is it's getting our foot in venues we normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
Say we're booking Saxon Pub in Austin for a grit show. Well, then they are now more privileged to all these girls' names. They'll book your full band. And that's the whole goal is you're going to get more shows. The more bands you get, the more tickets you sell. Well, if you can't get into a venue for the first time to show them what you got, you never have a chance. So that's what's really been cool about it.
So it's just breaking those ceilings, and getting in there for the first time. And I mean, that goes, in so many different shapes too. It's not just venues, but it's also breaking that barrier of radio. It's,
for sure.
I mean, it's rough. And that's why, I've tried to become a voice for the female in Texas. We've talked to pretty much all of y'all.
Yay!
And, Adrian is a one of the predominant females in the state, I think. Multiple top 30 hits on Texas radio, which is a huge accomplishment for a girl.
It's crazy. I know, it was funny. I was looking, my publicist updated my resume the other day and sent it over to, or my bio, whatever it's called, and sent it over to me, and I read it, and I go, is this true?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Let's make sure that I fact-checked it myself. And you kind of forget because you get caught up in the everyday grind and, okay, great, we got a 22 single, but all right, we got to get this next one right out the door. And you kind of forget to take a minute and celebrate it and kind of really absorb it. And so when I was reading it the other day and just even hearing you say it out loud, it's like, oh man, we've done some cool stuff. But it's because we have the support of radio. We have the support of, you know, the Texas media and TV and shows like yours and the girls doing stuff and the boys letting us come open for them. Kyle Parks let us come out on the road with them. And, you know, it's kind of everybody, and you just have to, it's a community and it's a family down here. It's not, you know, a competition against
Well, I think
other.
it's also very important to put something out that's not run-of-the-mill, too.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
what you do is very different in the state of Texas. It's not quite red dirt. There's, you know, there's just little elements of different stuff all piled into one song, which is great stuff. You know, there's the blues, there's a little bit of pop in there, there's the folk elements, you know, and that's what makes Adrian Johnston who she is. But I think when that song hits radio, people really resonate with that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Because it's not the typical everyday Texas stuff.
For sure. And
So-
that's kind of what I get a lot of feedback on that of, oh, it's very polished.
Right, yeah.
Because it's just good. Like,
Yeah.
is that a bad thing? Because we did polish it up a little bit.
Right.
And it's not any different from our live shows. We're not like this great record and then you're never going to have it recreated live. That's
Right.
not the case either.
Yeah.
But two, I don't like to send the same song out over and over again. Sometimes you hear artists and, oh, that's them because it sounds just like them and it sounds like the last 4 songs, which is fine and they're
Which
very
is called
branded.
mainstream.
Yeah, right? You broke Texas country people. There's not bro Texas. I'll take that back.
Yeah.
But it's true, and I like a little bit of everything. I was raised on everything from Bonnie Raitt to Eric Clapton to Shania Twain to Britney Spears.
See, that doesn't surprise me because I hear a little bit of Shania angst in some of your songs.
I love Shania.
You know,
She's my girl.
The Adult Beverages song especially kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of
Really?
a 90s Shania Twain song.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I heard Little Big Town a lot whenever we play adult beverages.
Yeah,
But
I
not
guess.
Shania. Oh. it's
Well,
like
I'm
an
talking
honor.
like the Man I Feel Like a Woman,
Yes.
you know, that era kind of song.
Which was like her prime.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
love it. I would love, like, in an alter ego sense, I would love to wear, like, a sparkly jumpsuit and be in Vegas. I think that would be so fun. Just
Start
ridiculous.
jumping over the Grand
Yeah.
Canyon, become the next Evil Knievel.
There you go. While singing with a sparkling microphone.
Yeah, of course. You got to have that bling.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of times with an artist to me is someone who has all these different influences that are all kind of boiling around inside of them. And so what's great about music for a fan like me is everybody's different. Everybody has their own unique set of influences. So everybody is completely organic as an artist. So I always try to figure out who the influences are, and you've already kind of told us that. But, you know, there's different sides, different facets to an artist, too. There's the songwriting side, there's the performing side, and all that. So do you have a different set of influences for each thing that you do? Like writing songs vocally?
Yeah.
playing?
No, that's a really good question, actually. I don't think anybody's asked me that. It's true, because vocally, I actually just, like, said this to somebody the other day. Growing up, I tried to emulate other, like, really good vocalists in
Right.
order to kind of figure out how to sing like them and, you know, different things like that. And so I would say strength-wise and vocally-wise, I'm most like Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how that's my standard. If I can't sing one of her songs, or more recently, Carly Pierce,
Yeah.
who's an amazing vocalist,
Right.
then I need to continue to grow in that. But then you go to a full band show, well, Shania, we want to be in your face, all over the stage, but really polished and put together.
Organized chaos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And entertainment. I don't want to come and just stand there with a guitar and sing
Right.
at you for 2 hours. We want to be a full band show.
Yeah.
And then songwriting, I try not to listen to other songwriters actually if I'm going into a session, because I don't like to go in thinking, oh, I've been listening to this one record and I'm...
You don't
then I
want
would
your style to be contaminated.
Yeah, and I would gravitate towards accidentally probably redoing that.
Right.
But when I step back and listen to other songwriters, Kylie Ray Harris, who's a good friend of mine, when she plays her songs, I'm like, God, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
So she's somebody that I definitely look up to as far as songwriting. And then, I mean, like the greats. You look at Bruce Robinson or Susan Gibson. It's like, shut the door.
Yeah.
I can't even handle you.
Yeah. Man,
a little all over the place.
good names, Bruce Robinson and Susan Gibson.
Who goes from Carrie Underwood to Bruce Robinson?
That's okay. Man, that's okay. And there is a Carrie Underwood connection with you, too.
Kind
with
of.
the new song.
Well, so we always say everybody's, within 6 degrees of separation?
Right.
And I sang the demo of the song we ended up recording, Damn, I Want to Love Like That, for her. It was a demo pitched to her.
Yeah.
And apparently, she gets the same demos from the same demo singers over and over again. And so the guys that asked me to do it said, hey, we need a new vocalist, but she still likes to hear somebody that sounds similar to her, that's strong, that can really hit the notes. Mm-hmm. Would you do it for us as a favor? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I recorded that probably 3 or 4 years ago. And we had already recorded the whole album. We had 4 songs. We wanted to add a couple more maybes. And it was the very last song at the very last minute.
Wow.
And we were going through songs on my phone, and that one played as like in my demos folder. And it was like, that's the one. But we should make it a duet because it's a little risque in some of the lyrics. Like, I don't want to really say that, but if a boy says it's fine. Mm-hmm. And Jordan and I have been doing a ton of shows together. And it just kind of...
What a good call.
Thank goodness.
What a great call. Jordan Isaac just has one of those voices, man. Doesn't he?
He does. It's so strong and pure, but it still has like a raspiness to it.
It's like I said off camera, like a young Daryl Dodd. I
Yes.
mean, let's be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to Jordan for a while, and it was good to hear him on that song. And the first time I heard the song was probably... I don't know, a month and a half ago or so, and it just came up into my feed, and I was listening, and I wasn't expecting a duet, because that's not something you typically do, you know?
My first one.
Yeah, right. So I'm just sitting there really enjoying the song, and then I hear that, and I'm like, wait, what? So I'm Googling, really fast, who's on the song? Who's on the song? And I couldn't find the information anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, but then I found a review of the song finally, and it was like Jordan Isaac. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Just a great idea. And to hear that the song was last minute on the EP.
Mm-hmm. This is the very last one we recorded.
I
know, isn't it crazy?
Because I think this is going to be your highest charting song.
Oh, thanks.
I really
hope
do.
so.
I just think it's that needed in Texas. Duet songs can be kind of risky too. I'm sure you know that. Mm-hmm. People can feel nostalgia instead of actually getting into the song.
Right.
But I think this song is going to transcend that. I think people are really going to dig the lyrics in it. And then the melody is really cool too.
It's so cool. And that's what I loved about it. And I think that's why it always came up as a song in the back of my mind, and something every time we heard it again, it was like, yeah, I do really like that song. It's like the lyrics are consistent and the melody is really catchy, but I mean, to record it is not easy. I mean, there's no breaths in between. I mean, It's like you just nail it. And so when we didn't, it was this is either going to totally flub and we're just not going to use the recording, or it's going to work out great. Yeah. And thank goodness it went the other way.
Right.
But yeah, it's just always been one of those songs, and Jordan was so perfect for it.
I agree.
You really haven't heard a duet like this in a lot ever, I would say. But you haven't heard a lot of duets. I mean, Josh Abbott did a bunch of duets with, Charla and Casey Musgraves, and he just did that one with Carly Pierce. So other than that, there's not been just a lot of iconic Texas duets.
And this song here, I mean, this might date me a little bit, but there was a song out in the 90s by Ty Herndon and Stephanie Bentley.
Oh, yeah?
Was called Glass Half or Heart Half Empty or something like that.
Oh, okay.
This song kind of reminds me of that one, the kind of the answering back and forth, back and call kind of style.
Which I love.
Yeah, I love it too. Just good stuff. So, yeah, we're sitting here with Adrian Johnston, episode 234. Just really thrilled to be talking to you and picking your brain a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
So, tell me, usually we talk about this earlier in the show. But growing up, I mean, what were kind of your inspirations to get into the music business in the first case?
Well, I had no intentions of being in the music business by any means.
Yeah.
I grew up doing music. I was in choir. I did band. I did musicals. I was just always wanted to be like a performer. I was
Right.
like the annoying kid that like wouldn't shut up around the house. And my parents and my brother will tell you, it was like, Adrian, please stop. Just, you're driving everyone nuts. And then in high school, I wanted to really get serious about being a vocalist. There was an older girl that went to my high school, and she had a vocal coach, and she ended up going to Nashville, and she was kind of doing it. And I was
Right.
like, I want to be like Brittany, and I want to do what she's doing. So my parents said, okay, well, if you are serious, we'll get you a vocal coach, but you have to go, you have to be on time, all that jazz. And I did that all through high school, and actually toured to go to Belmont in Nashville for college.
Wow.
And my mom's rule was, whatever college you apply to, you have to visit, because you're not going to know
Right.
if you like it or not.
Smart.
And so I'll never forget, she made me to go to UT in Austin, and I like couldn't handle it because there was no parking, there was way too many people. And we, went to Texas State, and we went to Tech and all this jazz. And she took me to Belmont because I had to audition for the music school. And so we were in Nashville for 5 days. And it was my first time.
Awesome.
And it was snowing, and it was gorgeous, and the campus was great. And it was right by Music Row, and it was just like, oh, Mom, I want to go here. And we came back on a Sunday, and I had a Monday tour at TCU in Fort Worth. And it was Mondays at TCU. And I was like, Mom, I do not need to go to that tour because I know I'm going to Belmont. She said, no, you know the rule. We have to go. So we go to the tour to TCU on Monday, and halfway through the tour, I was like, can I change my mind? And I went to TCU instead.
Wow.
I know. And looking back, I'm glad because TCU had a football team and a sorority and fraternity life, and it kind of just had a true college atmosphere where Belmont didn't have anything. It would have just been music.
Yeah.
And so I just said, okay, well, I'll just do like Opry's on the weekends. And I didn't tell my friends that I did it because what if I wasn't good and they all came and it was embarrassing.
Right.
So I didn't tell any of my friends in college, and I just did college.
Wow.
And then when I graduated, I went to work in the marketing world, and I was like, well, this is boring because you only do this like till 5 o'clock, and then what else do you do? So I started going into radio contests, and I started trying to write songs a little bit, and it just kind of snowballed into, okay, well, now you need original music for this contest. Okay, well, I'll write a song.
Yeah.
And you need a full band to perform. Okay, then I'll find some players. And
Wow.
that was in 2011,
Wow.
and now we're
So
here.
it sounds like just every step of your journey was just preparing you for whatever it is that you were going to become, whether it was the marketing or the radio contest or the songwriting, whatever. It's like everything was saying, hey, Adrian, you need to do this next,
Right. And I had no clue. I was just living
just
life.
along for the ride.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, here in Texas, if you're watching from outside the state, I would say maybe 80% of the artists here in the state get their start either in church or in the Opry system. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it never fails. And, I mean, even all genres, you'll have punk rock bands that get their start in the Opry system. So that's always really cool. Now, speaking of radio contests, you were the very first female last year to win the Ranch Factor.
Yeah.
Which is a songwriting contest, is that right?
It's more like a battle of the bands.
Okay.
So it's like 16 weeks long. I want to say they took like 20 some odd bands.
Right. And I remember when you were going through this, I was following you.
It was a long process. And yeah, you played full band the entire time. Of course, songwriting was part of the criteria.
Right.
But so was, entertainment value and band and showmanship and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I didn't realize when we got down to the nitty gritty that no girl had won it before.
Yeah.
And so once we won and that kind of came out, I was like, it made it even sweeter.
Yeah.
But it was a long contest.
It's huge to see that because the Ranch is probably the biggest radio station in Fort Worth.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, DFW
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, Adrian Johnston is the winner of the 2017 Ranch Factor.
Thanks.
Like she just mentioned, first female to ever do it. Mm-hmm. So has that opened up some avenues for you?
Yeah, it's been great. We obviously got some cool freebies with winning. Free merch, which is great. I mean, merch can be really expensive to purchase.
Of course, yeah.
That was a really nice. Then we got some recording time with Bart Rose on Fort Worth Sound.
That's a plus.
And we did some really cool live videos with that. kind of as a, because we had just released a record, so we didn't need to record another record, but we wanted to do something, so we did live sessions in studio. What else did we get? We're working with Vision Entertainment, Clay Newman with radio deals and stuff like that. So we got some really cool perks, but then just getting our name out there more. And we got a really cool New Year's gig because of it, because someone heard that we won because they listened to the station. And now it shows, people will come up to me after the show, oh, we've been following you through Ranch Factor and now we come to all your shows. So it's just opened up kind of a bigger fan base and I think more, show opportunities, and it's been great. It's been so fun.
Yeah. And, she's also been nominated with the TRRR Music Awards, which is just a huge thing for the state of Texas. I think they're also the ones that do the radio report, where Adrian's been listed at the top for quite a while now. I don't think you ever get used to hearing that, do you? It's pretty
It's
neat.
weird. But, too, you look at it and you see, we've had however many top 30 songs, which is huge accomplishment.
Of course.
But I'm still going, well, we should have more top 20s. Well, we should have a number one. Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
Right.
And I think, although you have to sit and celebrate for a minute, I look at it as there's still room for improvement.
Yep.
And we've still got a lot of stuff. And of course, the what Dave Smith does with the charts and with the award show is great. And actually, Grits are performing on Saturday at the award show, and which is kind of a cool full circle moment for all of us to say, we've actually gotten our voice heard, and that's a great platform to be at. And it's
awesome.
at Arlington Music Hall.
Of course.
I don't know if you know this, but was home to Johnny High's Country Music Review back in the day.
I did not know.
Johnny High was the sweetest little old man. He was the one that kind of discovered land rhymes.
Okay.
Maren Morris was on the show, Miranda, Casey, anybody. And that was it was an Opry place, but it was more like a variety show.
Right.
And I played there every Friday or Saturday night when I could.
So it's like coming home.
I know, I'm so excited.
So, I don't know if Adrian knows this, but I actually looked this up last night. Now, each time you were in the top 30 on the charts, you may not know this.
Oh, gosh.
Each time you were in the top 30, you were the number one female song on the charts.
Really?
At the time.
I didn't know that. Someone write that down so I remember that. Really?
Yeah, looked it up last night. I think it was 4 or 5 different times.
Really? Yeah, because, let's see, Rather Have You. I know we were the highest charting female when we hit that one. And then Adult Beverages was just recently.
Avalanche.
Oh, yeah, Avalanche. Duh, that was the first one. That is so cool. Yep. I'm glad you told me that.
No problem. Yeah, it's true. And honestly, when the chart comes out, that's the first thing I'm looking for. Who's the number one female?
Yeah.
And how far are they down? And how many total females are on the chart? Because I want to see that number rise and get larger and larger over time. Because to have a top 100 with 5 females in it is just not, I don't think it's fair.
It's sad.
Because I've talked to a lot of the females in this state and they are just as talented as the guys.
Oh my gosh. You know who's the most talented is Holly Tucker. That girl could sing the phone book. And
in Chinese.
In Chinese. Yeah. She's that good.
Yep. And I mean, you can go on down the line. You mentioned
yeah.
Pauline Reese. You got Courtney Patton. You got Kayla Ray. You've got Heather Little. You've got Bree Bagwell.
Which, thank goodness.
Natalie Rose. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, yeah.
And I'm so proud of Bree because she, before her, Sunny Sweeney was the only woman to have a number one on the Texas charts in 11 years. When Bad Girl Phase, I think it was, went to number one or something.
I'm not sure what song it was.
But it was off around that time when all her new stuff was coming out.
She's had 3 now.
Yeah, she's had 3 now. But since then, it's really been Sunny and Bree.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
And I'm just proud of Bree because she, didn't have the platform I think that Sunny had, and she was still able to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's crazy.
What are we at?
Are we just yakking? I'm pretty sure my foot's asleep.
All right, guys, so we're sitting here with Adrian Johnston, first time on the ETX Rock Show. Guys, we're going to be right back with more from Adrian, and we're going to tell you guys where you can follow along with her and buy her music. So
hey, y'all, this is Bree Bagwell. Thank you for tuning in to the ETX Rock Show.
All right, guys, Boston Chris here. We are back with Adrian Johnston, and you guys might be wondering if you're just hearing about Adrian for the first time. Wow, what a voice, right? That you guys must be thinking that. And she brought her guitar, so she's going to play us another song. So tell us about this song. This is my favorite one. It's called Tear It Down. Tell us about the story behind this.
Oh, Tear It Down's so cool. Actually, this is the photo shoot at my grandmother's house, and the song is about my grandmother's house.
Okay.
So I was in a writing session, and we had just kind of, I would say my grandmother was one of the most influential people growing up. And she was just like, I don't care what people think. Do what you want to do, honey. And she'd talk with a cigarette and a scotch. And that, you do whatever you want to do.
So the female Ron White.
Yeah. Exactly. My dad's going to die. That's so perfect. And she was ridiculous. But she also was like one of the first Kim Dawson models in Dallas. And like just like she'd have huge fake eyelashes on but talk like a sailor. Like she just was fabulous. I loved her. And so we had talked about kind of writing. I've always wanted to write a song about this house that I kind of consider where I grew up going to. My dad moved there when he was 13. They lived there for like 25, 30 years. No, 30 plus. And had this big, U-shaped driveway with this big old white pillars when you drove up the driveway. And I just thought there was such a great story behind that.
Yeah.
And so we ended up writing the song, and the house is still there, but for, good storytelling, we tore the house down in the song. But it's kind of to everybody's grandmother's house that you remember going to, or whatever house the house that built you, if you will.
How hard do you find it to have a story like that, or a place that you're trying to pay homage to?
Oh.
And then is it a struggle for you to fit that into a song?
Yeah. It's a struggle because you also want to give the thing you're thinking of justice.
Right.
And I feel like I rewrote that song and was like, I don't know. It's not technically magnolia trees. He's like, it's okay though. It's a visual. Like, I don't know, but should I call my dad and ask what kind of trees they are when you drive up the driveway? And I just was nervous about not doing it right. And so that song to me was like the most personal for sure. And then recording it, I didn't belt at all, which I'm really known for being really loud and very belty in my vocals. And it's just all falsetto. I wasn't warmed up. We went straight into the studio and did it in like 2 takes.
It's awesome to hear the vulnerable side of you, though.
I know. I don't listen to it. I can't. It
Really?
makes me nervous.
For real?
Yeah.
I think it's great, though, to see that side of you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That was my dad.
Do more of that
loved
in the future.
It. I know. I need to.
Yeah.
I need to be more comfortable with that side of my voice, which is just not something I use as much.
Right.
So it makes you feel like awkward about it.
I don't think you should.
Well, we'll try it. I'll do it just for you.
All right. You guys check this out. This is live and unplugged. It's Tear It Down, only here on the ETX Rock Show.
Even if they tear it down. Ooh. Wrecking bulldozers, yard full of broken glass. Couldn't stop me from closing my eyes and going back to that house, sunlight of life. Those walls and all those pictures are frozen in time, always full of memories, swirling all around, always right here with me, even if they tear it down. Ooh. Down that mile-long driveway led up to that house. What I wouldn't give to see it now.
All right, so we are back now. If you're hearing about Adrian for the first time, guys out there and girls, where can folks follow along with your journey on social media?
Well, I'm really big on Instagram right now. I love Instagram story, which is at Adrian Johnston 7. Same thing with Twitter. We do Snapchat. Facebook's Adrian Johnston Official. And then AdrianJohnstonMusic.com is the website, and everything connects to that. So that would probably be the first stopping place.
Right, and the website also has a updated bio. It has tour information on there. It also has contact information.
Yeah.
So if you're a venue out there, especially in East Texas, because she's going to be around more in the summer, late summer and stuff.
Yeah.
You want Adrian Johnston at your venue. I'm challenging you East Texas venues out there to hit that contact link at AdrianJohnstonMusic.com. And if people wanted to buy your music, where's the one place you would send them to do that?
I think iTunes is usually the easiest, or Google Play for those that have the other phone.
Thank you for putting it on Google Play. For
Do you
some
have the
reason,
other phone?
well, yeah, there's a lot
Android?
of artists out there that forget about Google Play for some
We
reason.
put it out on all digital channels. I mean, everything has it.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I look through the list of where our distribution sends it. I don't even know half the icons,
Yeah.
but it's there.
That's us too with the podcast thing.
Yep.
It's like every other week I'm added to like 4 more, and it's just like,
That's
what is
awesome.
the name of? Where is
Where-
that? Blueberry. What is this? They don't even know how to spell it. It's like BLUBRY. What? It's a real podcasting site. Blueberry.
Not to be confused with...
With Blackberry, yeah. Which is
Oh, I was going to say
completely
Burberry.
different. Yeah,
That too.
don't go there. Burberry. So it's Adrian Johnston 7 on Twitter and Instagram. It's Adrian Johnston Official on Facebook. Snapchat is 7.
I think it's just Adrian Johnston.
Adrian Johnston on
so.
Snapchat. And it's AdrianJohnstonMusic.com. Head over to iTunes and Google Play to buy the music. The brand new EP is called It Takes Time. And last but not least, the best way you can support Adrian right now is to call your local country station and ask them to play Damn, I Want a Love Like That.
Yes.
Featuring Jordan Isaac, guys. And you can hear that song on YouTube as well. Listen to it on YouTube and then call your local radio station wherever you are, even if you're in Nicaragua. Just call them.
We see you.
Yeah, we see you out there in Nicaragua. Thank you for watching. No, we actually have viewers in Nicaragua.
No way.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Hey.
They're listening to us in the captions below. on YouTube.
Right. I hope our captions are correctly spelled.
Probably not. You're probably Amy Johnson now.
Probably.
Like you were earlier.
That's happened before.
All right, guys, so if you're tuned into the ETX Rock Show for the first time, I definitely want to thank you guys for watching or listening wherever you're at. You can follow along with our journey on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're located at ETX Rocks. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much, but hit that subscribe button while you're here. Every single subscription we get is completely free, but it also helps us rise a little bit higher. And the more subs we have, the more we're featured in suggested videos and recommended areas and stuff like that. So every sub actually helps our guest get a little more exposure on YouTube. And we definitely thank you for that. Smash the like button too while you're there. All of our funding comes from viewers and listeners like you out there as well. So if you want to contribute to the show, you can do that at www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. We will take American dollars, Egyptian dollars, lira, and Danube.
Really?
No, I don't even know if Danube is a real currency.
Oh, that got me. That was good. Sorry. What the hell is that?
Look at it. Everybody out there, that sound you hear is Google. Everybody's opening Google.
Everybody's like, hold on.
How much Danube is $1?
It's the currency exchange for that.
Yeah. I've been watching The Amazing Race on Hulu. That might be where that came
There
from.
you go. That's great.
Danube may be some village out in
Thanks,
the middle
Hulu.
of the outback for all I know. All right. As we always say on this show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
that's right.
Howdy, folks. This is Aaron Watson.
This is Bree Bagwell.
This is Jake. And this is Walter from Rocky Queen.
This is Curtis Grimes,
Monty Pittman.
This is Doug Supernon.
I'm Heather Little.
This is Rob Redwan.
Ho! Hey, folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Hello, y'all. This is Ronnie Millsap, and thanks for tuning in to the ETX Rocks show.
Tough guy. Ho!
Hey guys, we're Blacktop Mojo, and thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.